Hey Kirk, hope you're well. Let's go over a few things here from the 2 days you were here. Again, great work with everything. Want you to continue working on these drills. So what I want to do is kind of go over a little bit of the befores and afters here and keep reiterating some of the things I want you focusing on with the drills, so when you're back home we can keep conditioning these new habits and these new feelings for you. Again, great work with everything, but obviously want you to continue doing focusing on a lot of these drills as opposed to just going to the range and beating balls. Big reason why is obviously we're trying to get some new sensations down, and the more we can rehearse it and drill it, the more we're obviously going to get used to these feelings. So these are the initial videos I took of your golf swing. So let's kind of look here at the left as far as what we need to focus on. One of the things right off the bat when you look at this view here on the right is just a little bit too wide with the base. I wanted you to get a little bit more narrow with the stance. We're talking just slightly. So looking here on the left side as we take that club going back, one of the tendencies we had right away is breaking down those wrists a little bit too much and that club slinging a little bit too much from the inside. As we see the club as it's traveling back, it's staying a little bit closed, not getting a full rotation, and then we do get that little reverse pivot look. And you can see here, if you look on the right, very similar here as we start that club going back. We could see club face staying very close, and we could see at this point here all of your weight and your center of gravity, everything is still too far forward. So because of this coming down, since everything's too far left, we're going to go ahead, come through, and actually shift everything back to that right side coming through impact. You can see where we end up finishing there. More of the center of gravity staying back as opposed to driving more through it. So big thing, what did we have to get the sensations for? Well, that's what the drills were for. Obviously getting a sense of a better rotation going back, getting a little bit better face awareness, and getting some better sensations with the overall movement with the body. Again, just really trying to focus on syncing everything up, getting the shoulders doing a lot of the work in the backswing, and then obviously feeling like we're leading with those hips a little bit more coming down. So let's go over a few things here that I wanted you to really focus on and feel. So right off the bat, one of the big drills we were focusing on to get the sensation, especially with that weight shift, was that drawback drill. This is going to be a very beneficial thing for you to feel because it's going to overemphasize, especially the transfer coming down, of you being able to get that weight forward. Now, with that ball drill of putting that ball about 6 or so inches behind the ball that we're hitting, this is going to now overemphasize more of the sensation of that one-piece takeaway and really trying to get that feeling more of letting the shoulders do the work instead of breaking those hands down right away. So we can see here as we start that club going back again, we're kind of killing two birds here with one stone in the sense of getting that club, that good set point, getting a little bit better tilt behind it. Yes, we could still see we are a little bit in front of it there, but now starting down, really trying to feel that we can go ahead and transfer that weight and everything more forward. Definitely getting a little bit more of that weight forward there, but obviously we can do that a little bit more. So how did we emphasize that feeling? Well, now adding in the sensation of, as we're coming down, being able to really focus on moving through it. How are we getting that? The old Gary Player sensation of really feeling post-impact like you can go ahead and pretty much walk forward. So I want you to see that there. Let me split this view. Let me put the old one up here on the left. So I want you to watch here. Let's get you to about the point of impact. Watch here on the left with where we started with everything so we could see the center of gravity as we start down. Everything starts staying back. We could see where the body is at this point here, so let me put up a line there so we could see that. See the center of gravity hanging back. Look at the difference here on the right. Everything is much more forward now. See, we got all the weight. You can even see the head's in a completely different position. But see, now we're driving through it a lot more as opposed to staying back on it. This is a great sensation for you to feel, to get more of that transfer of that weight and put much more of that pressure on that front foot. You could see the difference here. Watch as you come down in the left one here, so you could see that heel kind of rise up a little bit, and watch your foot actually, that front foot kind of spin out a little. What's that telling me? Well, our center of gravity and everything's hanging back. If we look at the difference here on the left coming down, putting so much pressure on that front foot that thing's staying very stable there. Again, why is that happening? Because we're getting that weight and everything transferring through that golf ball a little bit more. Another thing I really want you to focus on, and this is going to be a great tool, it's something you might want to consider getting, the Swing Guide, GYDE. This is a phenomenal little tool because this is going to help us get that sensation of that good face awareness going back and really getting that better rotation with that club face. What's this doing? This is going to help us set the club a little bit sooner, so I wanted you feeling a little bit more pressure there in the hands. So we get that sucker set up. That's our leverage point right there. You can see the difference where that club actually ends up on the backswing. Again, if we compare this to where we started with everything, we could see the difference as we take that club back, how much not only that thing slings inside, but you could see the difference with what the hands look like compared to here, where we're almost putting a little bit of pressure there, and this arm is staying nice and straight there. And also the big thing we can see is how much more connected that left arm is to your side there, as opposed to, you look here on the left, we see a lot of spacing there. Don't see a lot of spacing there with this swing here on the right. We're much more connected, got that good set position, that good leverage point, and then we just finish that rotation to the top. Again, a great feeling for you to have, and obviously a great training aid to definitely consider getting. So a couple other things I want you to focus on, so we can go over a couple more things here as far as some little drills and stuff like that to work on. To add to obviously what we've been doing and to continue working on our lower body was to add that little bit of that pump drill in there, just getting that sensation of we get that club to about that halfway back point, starting with that lower body first. So we're going to let that hip bump out a little bit. We go ahead, get that weight shifting forward. You can see that rotation there is really good. Center of gravity staying much more forward. And we go ahead and really start driving through that golf ball. Again, when you're doing this, I just want you feeling some half swings, really getting that sensation of that first little move, separating, head stays nice and still, and separating that hip from the shoulder coming down, letting that left hip kind of bump out, pulling that club down, really getting that sensation of holding that nice lag angle here. Getting that good position and letting the hip go and really focusing on getting that weight forward and through the ball. Last final thing that I want you to continue focusing on as far as that little drill goes to get the feeling, especially with that good release now, is that little feet together drill. Again, this is going to stabilize our lower body. This is going to take a lot of the tension away so we can get that good set position going back, and then from there we go ahead and really get that feeling of letting that thing release coming through. Again, notice with this drill is we're keeping our weight and everything much more forward. This is just really over-exaggerating you feeling very stable with that lower body. So in essence, what this is going to overdo is really getting that sense of that good release coming down. Now, one thing I do want to touch base on with the short game a little bit, here's the chipping. So again, as far as the setup goes, ball back, weight forward, hands at the front thigh. Really feeling like we can keep that nice short compact swing of just letting the shoulders rock going back, and then from there chest to the target, keeping the weight forward and keeping the hands out of the equation there. That was the big thing, is getting rid of the wrist. When we do that, we get rid of the risk. So really feeling that good sensation there with the shoulders. So ball back, weight forward, hands at the front thigh. Feet are going to be angled a little bit left there of the target. All we're going to do from that point is let that club rock back and rock through. As we start getting further away from it, all we're going to do is add a little bit more swing to it and get the feet a little bit wider and obviously move that ball a little bit more forward. But I want you thinking a little bit shorter with that backswing and getting a much better acceleration through it. Always want you being aggressive through the hitting area. Again, Kirk, great work with everything. If you got any questions about anything, please feel free. Give me a call, send me an email. Always here to help.